danger. Carter Vickers, though, is able to pick that one up on the halfway line as Celtic keep possession now on that far side through Kieran Tierney. Liam Scales and Carter Vickers just happy to keep it between themselves and McGregor before going back towards Schmeichel, just outside of his own penalty area, on the ball at the moment. Schmeichel switches the ball out wide towards Tierney. Short pass up the line to Tanecki. The Braga do well to put pressure under the now 400th appearance holder Tierney and regain possession for themselves, electing to go all the way back. And it has been a questionable start for Carlos Vicens. The protege under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, featured for a number of the youth team folds, under 18 and under 20s in particular. He was assistant under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City himself. He stood in place of Carlos Carvalhal this summer. Braga, who finished 4th in the Liga Portugal last season, putting them in the qualifying places for the Europa League this year. And on their way to this stage of the full league fixtures, they defeated Levski Sofia, CFR Cluj and Lincoln of Gibraltar. 9-1 they defeated Lincoln in the most previous qualifying round as well to reach the league stage. But that's a wonderful ball played up for Maeda towards Iheanacho inside the penalty area. A little touch inside and deflected behind, and now the assistant's flag is raised. He did look to be offside by a good couple of yards, Iheanacho, when that ball was fed through to him by Maeda. But they did allow play to continue to see if VAR would intervene. And yeah, a good yard or so offside. Iheanacho far too eager with the run. Iheanacho hasn't featured all that much from a starting position for Celtic this season, so he'll be thrilled to be in the starting lineup. Every time he's come on, he's been very composed. Good words said about him from Brendan Rodgers, so it's no surprise to see the number 17 making his way into the starting lineup this evening. That's a poor pass out wide from Braga, from Gorby Jr., and that is going to be a throw-in for Celtic a couple of yards from the edge of the penalty area on that far side. And it has been taken quickly. Tanukti will pick that one up and play that short pass back towards Scales. Towards Carter Vicker now in the centre circle, finding McGregor and Colby under pressure. Colby Donovan, he has been dispossessed. The inexperience just showing a little bit there, but he does well to regain possession, as Colby Donovan, trusted heavily by Brendan Rodgers this evening. Many thought that potentially they'd see Anthony Ralston make his way into the lineup, needing that experience to get some vital points on the board. But they've kept their confidence in the young Celtic Academy product for tonight, as Braga win themselves a throw-in just inside their own half on the far side of the field. More and more fans slowly make their way inside of Celtic Park. As Braga just look to play the ball out from the back. Iheanacho putting some good pressure on those players in Braga purple. Now just needing to be careful there at the back as Grilic finds the short pass of Are and B. Long ball played up the line, but far too much on that, and Liam Scales will comfortably gather that one in acres of space deep inside of his own half. Normally a lot more boisterous Celtic Park on a European evening, not too much movement in the stands. Maybe the silent protest is in its own little way going ahead. Celtic currently sitting in second place in the Scottish Premier League, behind league leaders Hearts of Midlothian, 2 points behind the league leaders from Edinburgh. And they will be facing each other later on in this calendar month, as Celtic just keep hold of the ball themselves at the back inside their own half. Kasper Schmeichel on the ball, short pass inside towards Callum McGregor, the captain, who plays it back to Carter Vickers, once more further back towards the goalkeeper. Ball played out wide towards Tierney. Braga slowly pushing players further up the field to put more pressure on, and that long ball has been played forward to release Iheanacho. The Hornacek comes out and pumps that ball high in the air, the Czech under-21 goalkeeper. He's actually a Braga youth protege himself, as Braga look to keep hold of the ball on that far side of the field, still inside their own half. Iheanacho, the one putting the most pressure on, and a poor wayward pass played up the line there from Yanis De Rocha, and that is going to be a throw-in halfway into the Braga half on that far side of the field. De Rocha just raising his hand in apology. But Celtic have no shame in taking their time, going back to start all over again. Ball is played short up the line, now towards Maeda. Maeda now driving in from this near side into the centre of the park, further into the Braga half, switching that ball out wide towards Tierney, further ball out wide to Tanukti now off the edge of the penalty area on the far side, making his way further in towards the byline. Tanukti across, and it just evades everyone else across the face of the 6-yard area, racing to try and keep that ball in play, but just about going out on the further side of the field, and it will be a throw-in for Braga. But excellent play driving up that far left-hand side, link up between Tierney and Tanukti. There was no one there to receive that ball as it was fizzed in almost 3 yards from the touchline and the goal line. No one there to meet that ball as it came flying in. Braga resumed play with a throw-in halfway inside of their own half as we approach the 10th minute here in Glasgow. The score Celtic 0, Braga 0. Braga with that first victory against Feyenoord last week. Celtic, on the other hand, that 1-1 draw in the hostility that can be Red Star Belgrade. Celtic are actually 33-1 by the bookmakers to win this tournament outright. Their fierce city rivals Rangers are sitting on 100-1, understandably with the way that team are currently playing under their manager Russell Martins. As Braga picked the ball up on that far side of the field, looking to release the ball long, but well watched from Tierney as he regains possession for Celtic from that loose ball, but equally poor pass inside as Braga now pick up the ball inside the Celtic half, switching further onto this near side. Wonderful run from Lelo as he looks to get further across, but Maeda with a good tackle in to regain possession for the home team here. Maeda was Celtic's player of the year last season, 27 goals in all competitions as well. Not quite hit the ground running as much as he would have expected for many of those in a green and white persuasion in the city of Glasgow. And Benjamin Negron certainly taking a lot of the credit early on in the goals and assists tally. Tanukti with that driving run earlier on just a few moments ago. He is their highest signing of the summer for Celtic, £5.5 million from Hammarby. Poorly given away though by Schmeichel, and halfway now outside the edge of the area, Braga have a chance, but well stood up by Carter-Vickers, and Schmeichel giving a poor ball away, nearly made to pay, but Cameron Carter-Vickers standing tallest as Maeda tries to get ahead of Brighton B, but B just about gets there ahead of the young Japanese player. Celtic look to keep the ball themselves inside the Braga half still, and that is going to be a free kick. The foul adjudged to come through the back there. It's going to be a Celtic free kick 5 yards from the centre circle inside that Braga half. And it is Vita Carvalho adjudged to have fouled Liam Scales. Usually it's the other way around. Liam Scales has got 3 yellow cards this season across the 11 games in total. It's more than any other player as well. So plenty of Braga eyes will certainly be focused on Pau Victor, the young man from Barcelona. They'll be expecting great things of him as they were at Barcelona, but Celtic now just keeping the ball off the edge of the penalty area, having to go back towards Carter-Vickers. Scales picks up the ball, pushing out further, halfway into the Braga half now through Tierney. Tierney electing to go all the way back towards Scales, who elects to go even further back towards Schmeichel, halfway inside of his own half. Pau Victor arrived for £10.5 million from Barcelona. It's a large spend fee for a team like Braga as well. Don't normally spend big money, but that's a good ball played up the line towards Tanukti as Tanukti builds further towards the penalty area, cutting inside, taking the shot, and it's a fizzed effort punched away by Hornacek, and Braga just about keeping that at bay. But Tanukti showing his talent and winning a free kick in the process, and it looks like we are going to see the first yellow card of the game, and it is going to be for Yanis de Rocha. Wonderful pressure from Sebastian Tanukti. Yeah, just pulled down there on the shoulder by Yanis de Rocha, and that is the first yellow card of the game, and a free kick in a position of some danger. But the number 23 for Celtic seems full of confidence and vigour this evening. Certainly the strongest starter of the 22 out there. Tanukti just pumping up the crowd in that hostile corner where the Celtic hardcore gather. So this is going to be a free kick for Celtic, taken, looks like, by Benjamin Negron, the Swedish international. as the big centre-backs make their way up into the penalty area for Celtic. Ball swung in, edge of the area, headed down, still not quite cleared, but Braga this time cleared the ball away just off the 6-yard area. As Paulo Bernardo takes no chances and goes all the way back towards Tierney, who takes it further towards Schmeichel, just outside of his own penalty area. Celtic looking the better of the two teams. That's a poor wayward pass from Schmeichel towards Callum McGregor, and that goes up for a throw-in for Braga halfway into the Celtic half. They take it quickly, but elect to throw back towards the halfway line. Celtic do look the more likely, but some of the passes and distribution from Schmeichel in these opening 15 minutes has been questionable, and surely Braga are going to notice that and want to push a little higher up the field whenever the ball goes back into those positions where they could exploit that poor pass. As Braga keep the ball between themselves, Vitor Carvalho just holding onto the ball inside of his own half. Short ball back to Bright Area B. And Carvalho under pressure now, Inacho putting the chase on, Hornacek taking no chances, clearing the ball away, and that will be a throw-in for Celtic right on the halfway line on this near side. 15 minutes into the game here, Celtic 0, Braga 0. And again cleared away further up into the Braga half, yet another throw-in for Celtic. As Carlos Vicens just tells his players to keep their composure. Taking place of Carlos Carvajal, who had spent his 3rd spell as the manager of Braga. And this Carlos Vicens' real first test as a manager, but again, poor from Schmeichel, clearing the ball away as Braga looked to get them up through Wazani. Effort from the edge of the area, but deflected high and away. Scales looking to shepherd it out, but Schmeichel just about comes to claim it instead. And Schmeichel is asking for a bit of help from the players around him, but Schmeichel himself has to hold the mirror up just a little bit towards himself, because that is the 3rd time this game that Schmeichel has given the ball away carelessly, and Wazani very nearly capitalised on that just outside the edge of the area. Braga, though, pick up the ball inside the Celtic half on this near side. Short pass played out wide towards Lelo. Lelo surrounded by green and white hoop shirts, electing to go back towards B. Gorby now under little pressure, electing to go back even further towards Carvalho, who's dropped that bit deeper from central midfield. Braga just about able to keep the ball in play, but cheaply giving the way through the captain Horta, as McGregor, the other captain, picks up for Celtic and switches further inside of their own half towards Scales. Short pass up, dispossessed wonderfully for Braga as they look to build further up, and it looks like it's going to be a free kick potentially for Braga. Around 12 yards from the penalty area on the further side of the field, and Florian Grilic, or Gustav Lagerbielke, felt that he might have been fouled there, the former Celtic player. He only featured 7 times for Celtic last season. Signed for just under £2.5 million from Celtic this summer. He spent last year on loan at FC Twente, and it is going to be a free kick for Braga. In a position of some concern for Celtic, and Ricardo Horta will be the one to take this. Around 15 yards from the edge of the penalty area on the further side of the field. Plenty of players lined up along the edge of that 18-yard area as well. Ball played into the back. Player goes down for some consideration, and it looks like Lagerbielke is yet again looking for some sort of help, as he feels there was a potential pull on his shirt in the penalty area. VAR will obviously have a look at this. He is onside, so the consideration is there, but I can't see too much on that myself personally. Lagerbielke holds the front of his shirt firmly out in front of him. He has got a little hold of something there, Paulo Bernardo. But it looks like play will resume with a corner for Braga to be taken on this near side by Lelo. Left-footed delivery, outswinger to the back post, headed away, not quite clear, but it's pumped in the air for Glasgow, still high in the area, and just touched down. Braga effort! Oh, and it's just gone wide. Carvalho with that effort on that far side of the post, but a poor effort, a swiped effort from the number 6. And those Braga fans trying to encourage their team. First real signs of life from the travelling support, and a great opportunity for Carvalho. But far too quick swiping at that ball, and that went out comfortably for a goal kick. Celtic need to try and get themselves some composure a bit more here. They're chasing the game at this minute in the past 5 minutes. They're passing a little bit wayward, but the left-hand side is full of promise as we go up that left side again. Tierney, short pass up to Tanukti. Electing to go back towards the halfway line towards Scales. And again, a poor pass, not quite finding that green and white hoop shirt. Plenty to consider for Brendan Rodgers. Only a couple of changes made from the team that got that draw away in Belgrade last week. He does have Rio Hatate on the bench, who is an ever-present threat, as well as Juan Junyang. But Braga now with the ball inside their own half on the far side of the field. Iheanacho still sort of rolling early on, forcing a bit of a forced pass there from Hornacek, but Braga do pick the ball up once again. Very confident play just outside of the penalty area from the Braga defenders there, full of Cruyff turns on the Celtic oncoming press. Wonderful threaded through ball now for Braga as they build further up this near left-hand side, further into the Celtic half towards the byline. Good ball into the penalty area. Tierney gets a leg in to clear the ball out from the area, but Braga pick up the ball once again halfway inside of that Celtic half. Array and B, passed out wide towards Lelo. Lelo short pass back towards Grilic. Grilic further back towards Brighton B. Lelo looking to get further up that left-hand side, getting the better of Colby Donovan so far. Braga switching play to the far side. An effort from range. Oh, it's a stunner from range. It's an absolute beauty from Ricardo Horta, the captain. He must have been 30 yards out from the goal. He almost took a pop shot at the goal. The pressure has been coming from Braga during this game, and my goodness, did that catch Kasper Schmeichel completely off guard. It almost looked like it caught the air in some way as it flew towards the goal, catching Schmeichel out and almost dropping below his hands. But the score here on the 20th minute is Celtic 0, Braga 1. A delightful effort from range from the captain Ricardo Horta. He had plenty of time and he just took an effort. And Kasper Schmeichel must be thinking that he could have done better. But he just had a pop from range and the ball wasn't all that far from Kasper Schmeichel's standing position. And a delightful effort from range. It must be from 30 yards or so out. A glorious finish, and that has given the visiting team the 1-0 lead here. And if the Celtic fans had a means to protest, they'll feel it could be the case at the moment. They were on top in the opening 10 minutes. But Braga have come back into this. And it is a wonderful finish from Ricardo Horta. Celtic 0, Braga 1. Celtic look to hold the ball up and try and get themselves back into this. Ball played up towards Iheanacho, who does pick the ball up well. Now driving towards the penalty area, surrounded by a couple of players, but a strong let out from Lager Bielka. Effort to be cleared. But Toba Stieler just getting in the way of that cleared ball, so he will have to drop this one back to be kept. It looks to be in Braga's possession. And the Celtic fans in that corner of the Celtic Park Stadium, just trying to get the fans encouraged and going. Celtic would have been looking at this as a real potential to build on further interest in doing well in this tournament. They've got some tricky games coming up as well. They themselves have Feyenoord to play as well as Roma. Bologna will be a tricky test, as will FC Midtjylland. And Sturm Graz and Utrecht will be teams that they'll be looking to try and get maximum points against. They would have potentially looked at Braga as well, but Braga so far the stronger of the team, of the two this evening. And it shows as we're halfway into this first half. The score Celtic 0, Braga 1. Schmeichel looks to play balls much sharper, and a better pass there from Schmeichel to find Liam Scales, but Braga players pushing further up the field, trying to force further errors from the man between the Celtic sticks. And that ball played well up towards Maeda on this near side touchline off the halfway line. Back towards Donovan. Donovan has been put under excellent pressure so far this evening from both Lelo and Horta on that left-hand side for the Portuguese. And their nickname is, well, they have two nicknames, Braga. It's the Archbishops, that nods to their Catholic central hub of Portugal, as well as the Arsenalists, due to them picking up their colours inspired by Arsenal that ply their trade in the Premier League. So maybe there's some sort of dual factor. If you're an Arsenal fan, you secretly have to be a Braga fan as well. Yeah, it's the Os Arcelaniasts is their nickname, as Celtic look to play the ball up the line towards their better performer Tanukti up that far left-hand side. Does pick up the ball, played into the penalty area, but Lagerbielke clears the ball away, and that'll be a throw-in for Celtic, level with the penalty area on the far side of the field. And Tanukti now picking up that short throw-in, just taking his time to move further in towards the edge of the penalty area. Short pass played up to Tierney, flicked ball across the back. It's a poor ball across, and that's going to go out for a goal kick for Braga. I think that Braga and Arsenal should have an exhibition almost every season. They can celebrate the fact that they wear each other's shirts. Well, more so that Braga took the shirt colour from Arsenal. And just seeing that effort again from Ricardo Horta from range, it almost caught Kasper Schmeichel completely off guard. The ball went to his left-hand side, and he went to try and save it with his right hand, reaching over the top of him. And it completely evaded the Danish international keeper. And Braga have taken the lead here through that, as Braga clear the ball deep in the corner of their own half on that far side, keeping the ball well now, switching to the near side. Maeda putting good pressure under as Braga elect to go back towards Hornacek. Hornacek looped pass up further inside of their own half. Now Lelo right on the touchline on this near side. Back towards Ere and B. And B back towards Hornacek. Iheanacho just putting that pressure on slightly more, as Lagerbielke picks up the ball well, turning away from Tanukti. Lagerbielke has played well so far in this game, showing the Celtic fans what they could have had with him. The young Swede that they signed from Elfsborg, who spent all of last season on loan at FC Twente, only featured 7 times for Celtic before being sold this summer to Braga. Braga now with the ball just inside the Celtic half on this near side. Good turn from Gorby. Now on the halfway line, short pass back to Grilic, who plays back towards Carvalho, dropping deep. Whenever Braga push forward, Carvalho is more of a CDM, drops further back into the central back position. And that's going to be a throw-in right on the halfway line on this near side, as Brendan Rodgers furiously scribbles into his notepad. I notice he hasn't got a 4-colour bic like myself. He's just got the standard tried, tested, true black ink. Celtic pick up the ball on this near side. Donovan looking to play the ball up. Well won though from Murray and B. And Callum McGregor looking to work hard and keep the ball, but Braga dispossess. Now making their way further into the Celtic half, switching out wide on this near side. Victor with the effort from range, but right down the centre of Schmeichel, and Victor with his first chance of the game. Effort from just outside the area, not too much on that though, and straight down the centre of Schmeichel. Slight deflection off of the thigh. Plenty at Barcelona. Barcelona have got high hopes for Pau Victor, especially now that he's here, as Braga come again on this near side touchline. The left-hand side is certainly being utilised to full effect. They're fully understanding that Colby Donovan is inexperienced, and they're using and testing that well as Braga continue up this near left-hand side. Short pass back to Lelo with a wonderful looped ball up further into this half from Pau Victor. Short pass back. Lelo does well to keep the ball well from a slightly misjudged pass. Braga now playing the ball all the way back into their own half. Lelo once again the go-between for any movement further up the field. He certainly is a player to be watched, Liano Lelo. 7 clean. He's got so many assists, for 6 this year across the 11 games played. Just the 1 attempt on target from Celtic, the 2 from Braga. Celtic starting so brightly, but Braga have grown and grown and grown, and even since scoring and going ahead, Braga are continuing to look the more likely to get another goal here this evening. As Ere and B plays the ball out wide towards Lelo. Wonderful pass up off the edge of the penalty area on that near side, and that goes behind for a corner, deflected away by Cameron Carter-Vickers. And Pau Victor himself is growing more and more as this game goes on. Him and Wazani alternating sides up front. As Lagerbielke makes his way into the penalty area for Braga, and I'm sure he would love more than anyone in the Braga side to get himself on the score sheet to really show those Celtic fans exactly what it is that they are missing. Horta Just waiting to take that, but the referee just having a quiet word in the penalty area. You notice a little bit of to and fro. And it is Nygren just causing a little bit too much chaos for the referee Tobias Stieler's liking. As we wait for this corner to come in from Horta. Right foot is swung into the near post, not a very good corner at all. Headed away comfortably by Callum McGregor. The Braga pick the ball up again, swung into the penalty area. Vickers rises highest to head the ball away. Braga pick up that loose ball yet again. Braga always getting there first. They seem to be so much more intent on controlling the game this evening. And that ball played up by Lelo. It looks like it might have gone out, and it has gone out, and it will be a throw-in to be taken on this near side of the field. And so it's around 1,000 miles as the crow flies between Braga and Glasgow. So far, the visiting team and fans from Portugal certainly the happier of the two as we approach the half-an-hour mark. The score: Celtic 0, Braga 1. And it's going to be Lelo to take this throw-in for Braga, right on the halfway line on this near side, going back towards the comfort of Are and B. And B plays back towards Hornacek, and Iheanacho just puts the chase on there. That's a poor ball out wide, and it is going to be a throw-in for Celtic halfway inside of the Braga half on this near side. Hornacek just raising a small hand in apology as that throw-in is taken quickly. The Celtic electing to go back and try and build up themselves through their own pace. As that ball is played up towards Donovan. Donovan, ball at feet, now making his way slowly into the Celtic half, switching out wide towards Tierney. Tierney keeps the ball well, plays the ball up the line towards Tanukti, looking to get there first, and it's deflected behind from Lagerbielke, who clears the ball away, deflecting it behind, and that'll be a goal kick for Braga. And a bit of an in-your-face celebration there from Lagerbielke as he cleared that ball away, staring straight into the eyes of those Celtic fans gathered behind the goal of Hornacek. And so the 29-minute protest would have ended by now in terms of its silence, as we're in the 31st minute of the game. And that directed solely at the board, not so much at Brendan Rodgers or the players themselves. But they felt that that lack of spending in the summer was cause for their reason to being knocked out in Kazakhstan a few weeks ago from the Champions League proper against Kairat Almaty on penalties. What many of the Celtic persuasion consider to be one of their lowest point results of their long, illustrious history. As Lelo throws the ball up the line, wonderful flick inside by Wazani. But Scales just picks that ball up inside the penalty area, clearing it away from danger. Braga look to get the ball back into the Celtic penalty area at first time, but picking the ball up well of Celtic, and Maeda watches that go out for a throw-in, throwing up the line, trying to get there to find Nygren. Nygren looking to get there first, and potentially have been a foul. Maeda trying to pick up from his loose throw, fouling Grilic in the process, and Grilic stays down, just holding his foot. Yes, stud slightly raised from Daisen Maeda on the Austrian. And it is going to be a free kick for Braga. And so far, not really going to plan for Celtic. They started the game well. But since about the 10th minute, they've been chasing shadows all game so far. Until Ricardo Horta scored a goal from range on the 20th minute to give Braga the lead. And that ball is played long for Wazani to try and chase. Scales gets there first, using his strength well. And up goes the assistant's flag on that far side. And Scales, as always seems to be with defenders, they always have a look of some sort of disapproval when an assistant's flag is refused to raise quickly enough. And you do understand, you know, with injuries creeping in, that they must be so unimpressed if that does happen when an obvious offside comes into play. As Carter Vickers looks to clear the ball up this near side, but a poor pass out wide as Braga pick that ball up for a throw in 10 yards into the Celtic half on this near side. Lelo just waiting for a little bit of movement, just shepherding further up the line there, just to the very edge, and Gorby picks the ball up, floated into the centre. Horta, the goal scorer, switches the ball out wide, plenty of space in the area, but a poor pass across, cleared away this time by Bernardo, and that is going to be a corner for Celtic. And Yanis De Rocha had plenty of room on that further side of the penalty area as well. I'm surprised he didn't have a go himself. Horta seems to be looking at him in that way as well. But It is going to be a corner to be taken on the far side of the field. This one to be taken by Leonardo Lello. Third corner of the game for Braga this evening. There's plenty of players in Braga purple. Pack the 6-yard area. Swung into the near post. Another poor corner again. Callum McGregor able to clear that one away. Still not quite cleared enough. As Braga do pick up the ball outside their own penalty area, a couple of players have gone down holding their heads just inside the area. As they're very slow to get back up. There did seem to be a slight collision of heads there from Paulo Bernardo on one of the Braga players in question, as the referee now calls the physios onto the field just to check on the two of them. But so far so good for Braga this evening. The side who are currently 5 games without a win in a row in the Liga Portugal, sitting in 7th place, 3 points behind Famalicão. They themselves have got a contest against the other team from Glasgow as they take on Rangers later on in the qualifying in the league phase of the Europa League, as well as a game against Nottingham Forest, who will be playing this evening themselves. They too will be playing Red Star Belgrade, as well as Genk, Nice and the go-ahead Eagles of the Netherlands. So Braga will be pitting their wits against the Glaswegian giants in the Europa League this season. And these two have only met twice actually before, in the 2010-11 qualifiers for the Champions League. Celtic won 2-1 here at home, but they lost 3-0 back at Braga, and that was a 4-2 aggregate scoreline. But Celtic's record against Portuguese teams is a positive one. They've won 12, drawn 3 and lost 8. Whereas Braga's record against Scottish teams isn't quite as effective, winning 2, drawing 1 and losing 5. But at the moment they do lead here at Celtic Park with less than 10 minutes to go. The score: Celtic 0, Braga 1. Braga resumed play from a drop ball after both those players were checked, and they just picked the ball up inside their own half, electing to go back towards their goalkeeper, Lukas Hornacek. Plenty of space, just playing the ball out wide now. Braga, short ball played up the line and just evading everyone, and Nygren getting there first to clean the ball up for Celtic. Inside to McGregor, still inside of the centre circle is Carter Vickers. Good pressure as he plays the ball out wide towards Donovan. Donovan leaving the ball. Poor play that from Donovan as he let it go out wide, as Victor looks to get the better of Cameron Carter Vickers. Pal Victor putting far too much pressure on Cameron Carter Vickers there. Celtic win themselves a free kick deep inside their own half on this near side of the field. Short pass back towards Schmeichel. Schmeichel electing to play the short passes again, growing a little bit more in confidence with his distribution. Number of poor passes, nearly unlocking, and again another poor pass there as Lelo picks up on that ball, but Nygren fouled by the oncoming Pal Victor, who needs to be careful himself. That's a couple of fouls in a row there from the young Spaniard. Celtic now with the ball on the further side of the field from Tanukti. Back towards Scales, and McGregor picking up the ball, switching out wide, trying to find Tierney. A bit too much on that though as it goes back. And it will be Lagerbilke just to try and shepherd that one out deep in the corner on that far side of the field inside their own half. Tanukti has been a bit of a bright spark for Celtic this evening, the only real bright spark at that as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if Brendan Rodgers maybe looked to his bench at half-time, in particular at Colby Donovan. Still very inexperienced. He's only 19 years old, Celtic Youth Academy product. This is his 6th game of the season so far, so plenty of trust in him. But it wouldn't shock me too much if Anthony Ralston was made to get himself prepared for the second half, as Carter Vickers picks up the ball on that halfway line. And a short pass towards Donovan. That's a great driving run from Donovan himself up the far side. Oh, but just getting a bit too much of a heavy touch on that, and that'll go up for a throw-in for Braga, halfway inside their own half on this near side. And a bright spark and a show there of what Colby Donovan is capable of when driving with the ball at his feet. So far for Kieran Tierney, his 400th appearance as a professional, not quite going to plan. As Braga look to try and keep the ball under their own possession inside their own half. Ball played long up the line, trying to find Victor, finding Victor short-headed to Wazani. And Wazani fouled just off of the halfway line by Cameron Carter-Vickers. And that'll be a free kick, a yard or two inside the Braga half on this near side. And so the last 17 home games for Celtic in the Europa League have been 9 victories and 8 defeats. Not a single draw in the previous 17 games in the Europa League here at Celtic Park. And so the omens are high on someone walking away with 3 points as Lagerbielke needs to pick up on that ball played loosely. Does play it back towards Hornacek, who clears the ball away to this nearer side. And that'll be going out. That's going to be a free kick. Far too much pressure on that from Donovan on Leonardo Lelo, just holding the small of his back. And that'll be a free kick for Braga, 10 yards inside their own half, right on the touchline on this near side. So Braga have failed to keep a clean sheet in the last 7 away fixtures in the Europa League. One of those 7 was a victory, 2 were draws and 4 of those defeats. So at the moment things are going to a bit of a different pace for Braga as that ball is played quickly up the line for Wazani to chase, and he does get there ahead of Cameron Carter-Vickers. Wazani just using his strength to hold the American away. Short pass back towards Grilic. Further towards Gorby, and electing to go back yet again through their number 6 Vita Carvalho, holding that central back position now firmly for Braga. Gorby, short pass out wide on that further side. Horta looking to loop the ball long, high into the air, but Iheanacho picks up on the halfway line for Celtic. Wonderful piece of skill, evading, looking for the through ball, but far too much on that for Nygren to chase. And Hornacek is going to allow him to just come onto that before picking the ball up. Less than 5 minutes to go here in Glasgow. Celtic 0, Braga 1. As Ray and B plays the ball up the line towards Lelo. Quick 1-2 between the two of them. Short pass further inside of this half towards the number 27, Florian Grilic, Austrian international, switching out wide towards Lagerbielke. Halfway into the field now, switching from the centre of the park out wide is Gorby. Gorby, short pass to De Rocha, the only player on a yellow card so far this evening. Braga switching play to this near side, looking to play the ball at line towards Lelo. Lelo getting there just ahead of Donovan. And Donovan looks to have won himself a goal kick in the process under good pressure from Leonardo Lelo, but the young man composing himself well. Celtic play the ball quickly, trying to build up this far side of the field. Tierney finding the ever-present Tanukti. But Braga holding their shape well and forcing Celtic further back inside of their own half. And that ball played up the line. Maeda just picking up from the touchline on this near side under good pressure from Ray and B. Winning a free kick for his troubles as well. Maeda using his experience well. Excellent with the ball at his feet. But not quite hitting the standards that everyone at Celtic knows that he's capable of this season so far. As they do have some potential options on the bench, Celtic, to look at if they so need to. Tanukti now driving in towards the penalty area on the far side, potentially shepherded out there by the Braga players. The referee seeing no foul in that as well, as Braga give the ball away cheaply to Callum McGregor halfway inside their own half. Effort from range, but far too wayward from Colby Donovan. Tried to recreate Ricardo Horta's effort just 22 minutes ago, but that one nowhere near as well executed. A good number of yards wide of Hornacek's goal, and that'll be a goal kick for the Portuguese team. And so Balak Wisher could be an option for Celtic, as well as the young Irishman Johnny Kenny. Braga building the ball up at the back from themselves inside their own area, allowing Iheanacho to chase. Very confident at the back, Braga, with the ball at their feet. Happy to build up with the ball at their feet under good pressure from Celtic players. Nearly caught them out, but they built it well. But Celtic do pick up that loose ball right on the halfway line, just inside of the Braga half. Scales switches out wide on this near side to Donovan. Donovan looking to use his trickery well with the ball at his feet, but giving the ball away cheaply yet again. But that ball long, searching up the line for Braga, given away. That's going to be a throw-in for Celtic 5 yards into this Braga half on the near side. Rio Hatate certainly is going to be an option for Brendan Rodgers at half-time if he so wishes to change. And many people feel that Kieran Tierney's number of appearances, the 400th this evening, could be much higher if it wasn't for that long string of injuries, those spells that he spent in the medics room and on the sideline. Could easily be so many more, especially for a player as young as Tierney. So he's only 28. 400 appearances is quite a normal number for a 28-year-old, but it could have been so much more. His career starting young at Celtic, making his debut as a teenager. As Braga pick up the ball on that far side of the field, driving into the Celtic half. Good ball played up the line from De Rocha. Now in the penalty area, Braga switching the ball out wide towards Lelo, other side of the area. Short pass back, effort from range from Horta, and it's just over the bar. Another opportunity there. This one from Grilic this time, just about over the bar. Schmeichel just watching that one. He might have got some fingertips there. It looks to have gone out for a corner. Braga looks so much more dangerous and commanding every time they build up. Grilic with the effort from range, it was actually left by Wuzani. And Schmeichel did get fingertips to that, to just touch that one over the bar, denying Braga the chance of a second goal at the end of the first half. The wind picking up here in Glasgow as well, and it is going to be Horta to take this right-footed outswinger towards the edge of the area. But Paulo Bernardo heads that one clear away from the danger. Braga pick the ball up though, elect to go back towards the comfort of their goalkeeper Hornacek. As all eyes turn to the fourth official, Timo Gerash, as we wait to see how much time is going to be added on at the end of the first half here. Donovan heads the ball out for a throw-in for Braga, halfway into this Celtic half on the near side, and we're going to see 2 minutes of time added on at the end of the first 45. As Lelo throws that ball up this near side touchline towards Victor, who's fouled in the process. Callum McGregor, the captain, coming in a little bit too viciously at the back of the young Spaniard there. Pau Victor just staying down, holding his left thigh. Doesn't seem to be in too much discomfort, just maybe allowing a little bit of time to pass to get in there. But yeah, Callum McGregor's knee just catching the left thigh of Pau Victor. But a good opportunity at the end of the first half here for Braga to extend their lead further. And it is going to be the goal scorer, Ricardo Horta, to take this on this near side. Swung into the middle of the goal, still not quite cleared. Grilic with the effort in the area, another swipe of the go, and it just goes wide, and that is going to be going deflected behind. And Grilic with another good opportunity. He's finding the opportunity to sharpen his tools that little bit more. Grilic with a swiped effort, deflected well from McGregor, had a good chance, but it does go out, and it is going to be, looks like yet another corner for Braga to contend with. McGregor doing well just to shepherd the Austrian international. This corner to be taken on the far side by Horta. Outswinger. Swung far too deep, catching that heavy gust that is building up here in Glasgow. They will be expecting stormy weather over the next few days here in Glasgow, and that wind seems to have shown itself slightly earlier than expected here, as the corner flags and the posts that hold them are swaying that little bit more in the breeze. Celtic are just trying to keep the ball at the back between themselves, waiting for the referee to call time at the end of this first half. And there goes the referee's whistle for half-time, with the score Celtic 0, Braga 1. Braga taking the lead through their captain Ricardo Horta with that excellent effort from 30 yards or maybe even further on the 20th minute, completely catching Kasper Schmeichel off guard. And Braga do look far more confident and in control here in Glasgow this evening. So we will resume this service in around 10 minutes time, so we look forward to joining you for the second half.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
And welcome back to everyone tuning in for tonight's coverage of this Europa League contest here at Celtic Park between Celtic and Braga, with the score currently Celtic 0, Braga 1. That goal coming on the 20th minute from the captain Ricardo Horta, striking the ball from 33 yards out from the goal, beyond the reach of Kasper Schmeichel. That goal the only difference so far this evening. Plenty of opportunity for Braga as well to capitalise on. Currently 53% ball possession for the visiting side from Portugal. 7 shots in total, with 3 of those on target, compared to just the 3 overall from Celtic with just the 1. 5 corner kicks for Braga so far this evening, with just the 1 for Celtic, certainly looking a lot more the likely. So Brendan Rodgers will be drilling a lot of opportunity and information into the team at half-time, and there are plenty of other games going on this evening in the early game kickoffs in the Europa League. Roma currently trailing at home 1-0 to Lille. Bologna in the lead against Freiburg 1-0, with Bran also 1-0 up against Utrecht. Young Boys are 2-0 up away at FCSB in Romania. Fenerbahce currently 2-1 up at home against Nice. Ludogorets currently 1-0 down at home against Betis. Panathinaikos Go Ahead Eagles is currently 0-0. Victoria Plazen currently 2-0 up against 10-man Malmo. In the Conference League, Crystal Palace are in front away in Poland against Dynamo Kyiv, with Lausanne 3-0 up against Breidablik. Aberdeen will be kicking off later on against Shakhtar Donetsk. Rangers will be travelling in a game away to Sturm Graz later on this evening. There'll also be other British teams in action. Nottingham Forest at home against FC Midtjylland of the Netherlands, and Villa travel to the famous Stadium de Kuip to take on Feyenoord, as both sets of teams now make their way out of the tunnel here at Celtic Park. And it looks like we are going to potentially see a change, and it is going to be Vitor Gomez making his way on for the man on the yellow card, Yanis de Rocha. So there is going to be a change for Braga. Vitor Gomez, a natural right-back change for another right-back as well. Looks like Celtic also have made themselves a change in the process. And it is going to be Marcelo Sacchi on for Colby Donovan. Colby Donovan was a little bit under pressure throughout that game. That excellent driving run up up that left-hand side certainly caught him short throughout a fair few times. As the man on loan from Boca Juniors enters the fray this evening. If you play for Boca Juniors, you certainly can handle the intensity of European evening football at Celtic Park. So Braga do kick us off. They're kicking from left to right in that all-purple strip, with Celtic kicking from right to left in their traditional green and white hoop shirts with white shorts and white socks. Braga looks to try and get the ball up that left-hand side again, and doing well, winning themselves a throw-in in the process, 10 yards inside of the Celtic half. Carter Vickers just clearing the ball away, so a change each for either side. Sarachi and Gomez enter the field for both their respective teams. Braga now with the ball with Pau Victor, short pass back towards Gorby. Electing to go further back towards Carvalho, switches out wide to this near side to Lagerbilka. Looking to get first touches of the game in for Gomez. Strong tackle from McGregor as he wins the ball away there from Grilic. Ball played back towards Schmeichel, this time finding that Celtic player. His pass is so wayward in the first half, needed much improvement, his distribution, Schmeichel. And a much better first pass in the second half for the Danish international. Celtic try and keep the ball in play on this near side, but it does go out for a throw-in for Braga just inside the Celtic half on this near side as the rain starts to slowly fall a little bit here in Glasgow. Again, mentioning that stormy weather is going to be making its way onto most of Scotland over the coming days. It is meant to strike this evening as well, so we do wish everyone stays safe and comfortable up in Glasgow for the storm that is coming. But that's a wonderful tackle as Celtic put the ball in the middle to Iheanacho in the penalty area. But Braga get numbers back and dispossess the Nigerian striker well. And Celtic much higher in the press in this second half. Certainly been drilled with them by Rodgers that they need to show a lot more intensity, quite lacklustre with their effort levels in that first half. Braga looked far too comfortable throughout all of the first half here this evening. That ball threaded up the line for Braga, but Tierney is fastest to it ahead of the oncoming El Wazani. Schmeichel looking for that short pass there to McGregor. So far, two passes from Schmeichel do find their respective player. That's a long way to pass back. Schmeichel does well to keep that one in play, just about to stop it going out for a corner. It's been a good start for Celtic, but that was slightly nervy from Carter Vickers passing that ball back. Celtic do well to keep the ball in their own possession at the back. And it isn't too much of a surprise that Colby Donovan has made his way towards the bench. Marcel Sarachi does take his place as they look to get the ball up that far side. It is going to be a free kick to Nutke. Far too aggressive there on Gustav Lagerbilke, and that is going to be a free kick for Braga halfway inside their own half on this near side. And Iheanacho shows glimpses of what he can do there just moments ago. A great opportunity for Celtic. Well won from Carter Vickers. Iheanacho, though, surrounded by players in Braga purple. Not quite given the time to find the opportunity to get the shot away, and they will be looking to the Nigerian international striker for another goal in the Europa League to get themselves back level here this evening. As the flags wave a little bit more fervently in that corner for the Celtic fans. They're hardcore fans situated in that corner on the same side of the stand where the small pockets of Braga fans have travelled. Celtic try and build the ball up inside their own half, but well watched from Liano Lello, and that is going to be a throw-in for Celtic halfway inside their own half on the far side. So far, so good for Celtic against the two Glaswegian teams they will be playing in the Europa League this season. As that ball is fed up the line for Tanukti to try and chase. Carvalho just about gets there first, plays the ball back. Long ball played up line from Hornacek. Carter Vickers just that short header back, but given away cheaply by Scars. New man on the field, Gomez. Short pass into the penalty area, out wide to Wazani. Wazani now in the area on this near side. Effort across and just going a yard or two wide of the far post. But a good opportunity from the young man from Morocco. And that is a great opportunity for El Wazani to get a second of the evening for Braga. And Tierney just stood off a little bit too much there. Good opportunity from a relatively tight angle right on the edge of this near side of the 18-yard area. He couldn't quite hook the ball enough around his foot to get the better of Kasper Schmeichel. Celtic now with the ball inside their own half. Ball played up the line there from Tierney for Tanukti to chase, but that's picked up far too comfortably, and they are going to win a free kick for their troubles. Carvalho just feeling the leg outreached from Sarachi, the Uruguayan international on loan from Boca Juniors. This is fifth appearance of the season so far for Celtic. And that goal from Ricardo Horta, the 141st of his Braga career. And that's a poor ball played. Iheanacho 1-on in the area! And there is Iheanacho picking up on the loose ball, and they rely on him once again to get Celtic back into this game. Iheanacho picking up the ball well, a little touch to get away from the Braga centre-backs, and cool as you like, 1-on-1 in the penalty area, bringing Celtic level on the 51st minute. It's Celtic 1, Braga 1, and it's that man Kelechi Iheanacho once again, just picking up that ball back, almost falling directly between the middle of Lagerbielke and Carvalho, but Iheanacho with a little bit of luck, a bit of fortune, but putting that pressure on as he has been trying to do most of this game. A slight bit of fortune is all you need when you put the effort levels in that he has shown, and Iheanacho just took one little look up, up at the goal, down at the ball, struck beyond the leg of Hornacek, and Celtic get themselves back into this game early on in the second half. But they are going to be checking this for VAR potentially. They felt there might have been a hand involved. I thought it came off of Iheanacho's head personally. So we'll see what VAR Christian Dingert and Paul van Berkel have to say about this. I can't see too much wrong with that myself. I don't think that touched the arm. As we see the replay here, and that has touched what looks like the very top of the shoulder. So I see no reason why this goal shouldn't stand. Iheanacho, such experience being shown there, composed, just to take his time to assess where the goal is, the ball at his feet, one strike beyond Hornacek. And as far as I'm concerned, this one should be Celtic 1, Braga 1. We're still waiting for full confirmation from the VAR this evening. But it is going to be down to the officials. Tobias Stieler just telling the players around him to calm down. They are in communications. I feel Iheanacho would be very hard done by here if this one didn't go the way of a goal. It's a very long check. They are taking a good long look at this one. But from the quick view that we just got to see, I felt that touched the top shoulder. And no, it has been judged as a handball. So that is not going to be allowed to stand. Iheanacho shaking his head. And I have to say, I do agree with the Nigerian there. I didn't feel that that touched a part of the arm that would be considered to be handball. Now they talk about position of sleeve on the arm. It's come off of Lagerbielke's left leg. I cannot see how that has touched the arm of Iheanacho. But Christian Dingert and Paul van Berkel have seen something that obviously I haven't. As we'll see another angle of it here. I fail to see how that has touched the arm. I have to be honest with you, and no wonder that Iheanacho is disapproving of this. Because he took the effort well. He put the pressure under, and I think Braga have gotten away with one potentially there, but the score is still Celtic 0, Braga 1 this evening as we approach the 10th minute of the second half. But there will be plenty of time added on for the end of the game, with that check taking a good 3 to 4 minutes. As Celtic have the ball deep inside their own half. Good pressure from Braga as they look to capitalise early on in the area. McGregor just getting there first inside of his own penalty area, composing himself well to get ahead of those Braga oncoming players. Iheanacho now with the ball halfway inside of his own half, finding that short pass to Tierney, another one back towards Scales, who moves the ball out further wide. It's still inside their own half to Cameron Carter-Vickers. Scales picking up the ball yet again, switching out on this near side towards the new man Sarachi, getting his first touches. Good ball played across the face of the area, headed behind, and that is going to be a corner to be taken on the far side. And this is a lot more like it from the home team this evening as they look to get themselves level in this game. They thought they were level just a few moments ago, however VAR thought otherwise, and it is going to be Nygren to take this corner on the far side, this one to be an in-swinger. As the tall players from Celtic make their way into the penalty area. Scales trying to make himself as known as humanly possible, both arms in the air, ball played in towards the centre, but easily, comfortably won from Arayan B to head that one away. McGregor picks up the ball right on the touchline on that far side, and Nygren felt that one late, and that is going to be a free kick to be taken right on the touchline, just over halfway inside of the Braga half on that far side. Surely this one is going to be taken try and get the ball into the penalty area. Bernardo is a nearby company option for Nygren to consider. But plenty of players line up a couple of yards inside of the 18-yard area, both in Celtic and Braga colours. It's going to be a Bernardo, but that's not a very convincing free kick playing in, very shallow, and that one headed back by Bernardo, having to try and head that one as aggressively as he could back towards Schmeichel, who had to come far out of his penalty area to pick that ball up from the oncoming pressure of Pau Victor. But that's a good ball played up the line for Maeda, and the goalkeeper's very much off his line. But Arayambi just gets there ahead of the Japanese international, and that'll go for a throw-in 7 or 8 yards from the corner flag on the far side of the field for Celtic, taken quickly by Nygren. Inside the centre of the half for Sirachi now. Sirachi to Tierney. Tierney ball out wide on this near side touchline. Tanuki having to go back towards Tierney instead. Braga players get themselves back into position, forcing Celtic further back. As Carter Vickers picks up the ball, plays it back into the comfort of Scales. McGregor now looking to drive into the Braga half. Short pass to Maeda, back to McGregor, inside the area, moving further in, but a good foot in from Florian Grilic to kick that one away for another corner for Celtic to be taken on the further side of the field. Celtic growing in confidence as this second half continues, but a wonderful tackle from Florian Grilic, just getting ahead of the effort from the captain McGregor. And it is going to be Nygren to take this corner, looped in towards the back post, just beyond the head there of Tierney, and that one kept in play by Vitor Gomez, right in the corner flag, who pumps that one up this near left-hand side. Scales will gather that one up with a little bit of ease, short back towards Schmeichel in plenty of space. Celtic do look a lot more positive in their second half. Many in Celtic will feel that they should be level. That goal disallowed for Kelly at Iheanacho. As Bernardo plays that ball into the centre of their own half to Scales, playing the ball up towards McGregor, now in the Braga half. Short ball played out wide towards Tanuki. Tanuki, short pass out wide to Cameron Vickers. Celtic moving slowly further up into Braga possession. Short pass to Nygren. Far too clever for Maeda's reading, giving the ball away cheaply as Braga pick up the ball now. Grilic with that excellent tackle recently picks that ball up, plays that short to Gorby. Quick passes in the triangle for Braga as they now switch to this near side to Lagerbielke. Short to Gomez, back once again to the former Celtic man Lagerbielke, trying to thread the ball up, but well won from Celtic players as Iheanacho picks up the loose ball. Short pass out wide to Tanuki. Tanuki making his way in towards the area. Short pass inside to Iheanacho, and the swiped effort still not quite cleared, but Hornacek just about getting down in time to clear that one away from going for a corner potentially. Iheanacho and Tanuki working well together on that left side. They're linking up a lot more smoothly as this game goes on. But Braga do find themselves on the ball deep inside their own half on that far side. Gorby, short pass. Looking to loop the ball long there from Lelo. El-Wazani using his strength to hold off the oncoming pressure from Scales, doing well to still keep the ball in his possession, twisting and turning away from Celtic players gathering. As Leonardo Lelo slowly gets back up to his feet on that far side, just having a quick word with the assistant on the far side, asking why nothing was given, just rubbing his head. Lelo now with the ball at his feet, plays it quickly towards Grilic just to keep it away from himself. As Arayambi threads a wonderful through ball in towards El-Wazani, looking to switch play out wide, well touched from Gomez. Braga looking confident on the ball now. Lagerbielke turning well from the oncoming pressure from Tanuki. And Braga, this is their most confident spell with the ball at their feet in the second half. That's a wonderful ball threaded up towards Lelo as he drives further up that far side into the penalty area. Good ball across, deflected away, and just about cleared by Celtic players looking to get the ball away from the danger. Braga trying to get there first, but McGregor uses his experience well to get his body ahead of Lelo, and Celtic just about get the ball away from potential danger. Best chance of the second half, that one for Braga. Lelo given plenty of space and freedom to drive in towards the penalty area, but his ball in took a little nick, taking it away from the oncoming Ricardo Horta. Lalo picking up the ball though again on that far side. Good ball into the area. Scales heading the ball away from any sort of danger. Lalo first there to pick it up yet again. His game growing in confidence as the minutes tick on. Just over an hour gone here. Celtic 0, Braga 1. Celtic were the favourites before this game to pick up a victory. But Braga have certainly been the more in control of the two teams over the course of the hour gone. Braga just happy to keep the ball between themselves in triangle formations at the moment, electing to go back towards Hornacek. Iheanacho putting the pressure on, forcing the goalkeeper to kick the ball long. Cameron Carter-Vickers picking that one up. Big strong presence, but that's poor from Carter-Vickers as Pau Victor now has the chance to drive towards the penalty area. Scales is shepherding around. Victor with the opportunity from range, and he's just picked up another swiped effort, and just down well from Schmeichel as he picks the ball up from Pau Victor as he looks to get himself on the score sheet. This is his 13th game, 3 goals scored for him so far this season. But Liam Scales doing excellently just to stand his ground and force an issue, and the ball played in towards Iheanacho. Far too heavy of a touch though from the Nigerian striker. And that one will be going out comfortably for a goal kick. And that was a good ball played up from McGregor, releasing Maeda on the far side. And Iheanacho might have just been in an offside position, actually, all told, if he was to find the net. I'm sure VAR would have had a say about that, but it has actually gone out for a corner. Just to be a corner by the assistant on the far side. Certainly more intent from Celtic in this second half, as those big centre-back options make their way into the penalty area. Nygren swung in to the far post, headed in, Tierney! Oh, and that's a good save away from Hornacek. That header down on the far post for Tierney, and what a way to cap his 400th senior appearance in his career. That would have been a good header, but it was well pushed away from the Czech under-21 goalkeeper. It's going to be Paulo Bernardo to take this corner on the near side, in-swinger towards that back post. Scales just over his head. Braga picked the ball up through Lalo, playing inside, looking to find Gorby, but far too much on that. Picked up by Sirachi, played into the end of the area. Hornacek fastest to come out and gather that one from the oncoming press of Nygren. Celtic finding a lot more opportunities in this game now, growing further in confidence. To fall to a defeat here would be a terrible start to the first of their 4 home fixtures in the Europa League. McGregor looking to shepherd that one away. Well, Schmeichel came flying out of his area to try and get there. McGregor looking to shepherd it, catching Gorby, and Gorby just having a quick look back at the Danish goalkeeper, feeling that he could have definitely avoided him when he came running out, charging, clattering with him. And Schmeichel will consider himself relatively lucky, I reckon, to have gotten away with something there. But it looks like we are going to see another change this evening, and it is going to be for Braga. João Moutinho will make his way on for Florian Grilic. So the former Wolverhampton Wanderers midfielder, who really has been quite an ever-present for Braga since joining, makes his way on for the Austrian international, who put a very good foot in just a few moments ago to deny Callum McGregor an opportunity inside the penalty area. So that's 2 changes for Braga. João Moutinho makes his way on for Florian Grilic. The play resumes with a Celtic throw-in taken right on this near side touchline. And I'm sure the fans will be happy to see exactly the momentum changing a little bit more. They were so lacklustre in the first half, Celtic. They seemed almost cautious to get forward. Even when going behind, they still didn't show intent to get back into this game. But this is much more like it from Celtic. As Tanukti builds on this far side, making his way towards the edge of the penalty area. False shot, effort from range, deflected away though from Braga players, but Celtic do get themselves back on the ball. Tanukti yet again picking up on this near side touchline. Wonderful footwork to break away from the Braga players. Threaded ball into the middle, Sirachi across, and that one cleared away by Braga. And Celtic being jeered, their fans getting behind their players as the arms are waved up from the Celtic green and white hoop shirts. And Braga are the ones that do win the throw-in on the far side. They do feel that came off the Celtic player last. I do have to agree with them. They seem to try and take that one quickly, Celtic. But it is going to be a Braga throw-in, and we are going to see yet another 2 changes for Celtic this evening. And that is the final moments for Benjamin Negron. Not quite the impact he would have wanted, as Rio Hatate makes his way on. Experienced Japanese international. They will be looking for his experience to help them out as best as they can, and Paulo Bernardo will be the next player also to vacate the field, and it'll be Arne Engels making his way on for Celtic. So they'll be looking for Arne Engels to see if he can bring a little bit of fire into this team, as he so often has in his locker. The young Belgian they signed the other year. So Engels and Hatate on for Bernardo and Negron. The Celtic look to continue to pile the pressure on Braga, but that's well won from Gorby as he plays the ball up further out wide there. Good ball played out wide, and Pau Victor's going to have to get the chase on to get there. He does get there first, playing that short ball back towards Lelo. First touch is now for João Moutinho. As he gets himself on the ball, plays a quick pass out wide towards Lelo, who plays the ball further back towards Array and B. And Braga just trying to keep the ball under their own pace at the moment. Celtic growing in confidence more and more, but still trailing by a 1-0 here. That's a poor ball played out by Hornacek. Celtic throw-in taken quickly on that far side, thrown back towards the captain McGregor, just inside of the Braga half. Scales plays the ball up towards Sarachi. Hatate, his first touches of the game this evening, just playing quick passes, getting some familiarity with the ball at his feet in the game this evening. As Carter Vickers plays the ball comfortably back towards Scales. Braga players dropping that bit deeper as they can feel and sense the press coming a bit more from Celtic. As Scales looks to play the ball up, threaded. Good play back there now. Tanuki. Ball at his feet, driving from this near side in towards the edge of the penalty area. Being shepherded well by Braga players, holding their ground well, forcing him back towards Rio Hatate. To McGregor, short pass now, halfway inside of the Braga half, having to switch to the further side. Short pass from Iheanacho to find the fellow Japanese player Maeda. Back towards Carter Vickers, and Braga's shape is to be seriously admired this evening. Every time they hold their shape and ground, they have to force Celtic back almost in an arc-like formation to switch to the other side of the field. Excellent composure from Braga so far this evening, as we've got just over halfway into this second half. The score still Celtic 0, Braga 1. Tanuki with a short pass inside, looking to get those early touches in for Engels. Ball out wide to Maeda, looking to make his way further in towards the area, but giving away a cheap foul from the heavy touch, and that is going to be a free kick for Braga halfway inside their own half on that further side of the field. Pau Victor going down yet again. We're going to see another 2 changes this evening. And it is going to be the goal scorer Ricardo Horta making his way off for the very, very dangerous number 10 Rodrigo Salazar. And so the goal scorer, the only goal in this game on the 20th minute, as he makes his way towards the dugout. An excellent performance from the captain this evening for Braga. Ricardo Horta with that effort from, it must have been around 30 to 35 yards out, driven straight down the throat of Kasper Schmeichel. It looks like Diego Rodriguez will also be making his way on. Braga youth player, just 20 years old. Already had a goal this season to his name. And it is going to be Pau Victor that makes his way off. He's been impressive this evening, Pau Victor. He's picked up a few knocks for his troubles. But he is replaced by Diego Rodriguez. As we get back underway, Celtic with the ball on that far side, trying to release Maeda. But Braga pick up the ball well loosely. Excellent pressure from Celtic as Hatate picks that short pass to find it back towards Cameron Carter-Vickers. Celtic just need to try and get themselves on the ball and find a little bit of composure, as there's just under 20 minutes to go of the regulation 90 here this evening. So Rodrigo Salazar will be attacking the side of the field that Sarachi is currently situated on. The two Uruguayans, who I'm sure know each other very, very well. As Celtic pick the ball up inside of the Braga half, just inside that half on the further side. Hatate, short pass back towards Scales, further out from Sarachi towards Tierney. Tierney on this near side, electing to turn back under pressure from Braga players, finding Hatate. And Scales has to think quickly as El Wazani puts good pressure on the centre-back. Irish international. Many of these players will be in respective international duty after the coming weekend. That's a good ball out wide towards Tanukti as he makes his way in towards the penalty area on this near side, driving in towards the byline, looking to get it across, deflected, still keeping the ball in his possession. Now switched far too deep of a ball back though for Sarachi. Iheanacho looking to try and keep the ball in play with the chase on. He just about keeps that ball in play on that far side, working brilliantly well there. It is going to be a throw-in for Celtic. Cameron Carter-Vickers under pressure from Rodriguez, the new man sticking a foot in to get his first touch on the ball this evening. And that throw-in taken quickly. Carter-Vickers plays short towards McGregor, towards Hatate on the far side of the area. Swung ball into the middle with good venom. Oh, and that's a little deflection, but Hornacek keeping his composure well. A potential calamitous opportunity there. Vita Carvalho. That ball just striking his knee. When they strike the knee, they really can go anywhere. It is almost unpredictable. Fortunately for Hornacek, it went straight down the middle of his chest as he gathered that one up comfortably. But Celtic now with the ball inside of Braga's half, switching out wide to Carter-Vickers on the further side. Maeda now on the touchline, looking to build up further, but Leonardo Lello, as he has done all evening long, standing strongest and winning very, very serious tackles. Maeda takes that throw in quickly, throwing it back towards Carter-Vickers. Hatate switches out wide on the further side towards Engels. Engels ball up to Maeda. Maeda does well to keep his composure and stand up and keep balance. Short pass to McGregor, further inside to Maeda. Now looking to build in towards the edge of the area. Short to Sarachi, wonderful touch to take away from the oncoming Braga press. Now with Tanukki driving into the penalty area. A chance to Mensah open up. Tanukki! And that's a great strike, but an even better save from Hornacek, pushing the ball other side of the post, and that's going to be a corner. And Tanukki raising his arms in the air to get those Celtic fans behind the goal. They're attacking behind him and the team. But a wonderful piece of play yet again from Tanukki. But Hornacek has his number once more. And it's going to be a corner to be taken on the further side of the field for Celtic. The Tunisian international gets closer and closer as that corner is driven in just beyond the head outreach. Hatate picks the ball up on the edge of the area. Now switching out wide towards the corner taker. Just about able to get there first. Not a very good ball out wide though. Celtic still with the ball at their feet. Hatate with the ball halfway inside of the Braga half. Turning on a circle away from the Braga press. Short pass out wide towards Sarachi. And now Tanukki yet again looking to drive in towards the penalty area on this near side. Good foot there. Still Celtic with the ball. Hatate looking to loop the ball inside. Braga looking to clear the ball away, and Hatate does get there again. Good pressure from the new man on for Celtic, and that is far too much on that though from Tanukki on Vita Gomez as Braga win themselves a free kick halfway inside their own half on this near side. So Tanukki with a number of good opportunities in this game. Excellent read from Lucas Hornacek. He's been superb this evening so far. He's kept 7 clean sheets in 13 games of all competitions. And as said, they are yet to keep a clean sheet in their last 7 visiting games in the Europa League. And they failed to win in 8 of their last 10 in particular. As we look to see potentially another Celtic change. Sarachi heads the ball back towards the comfort of Schmeichel, who has to come just out towards the edge of the 6-yard area to pick that ball up. Thrown quickly out wide towards Cameron Carter-Vickers. Played ball long, high in the air on that far side for Maeda to chase down the channel. Maeda looking to get there ahead of Arebi and B, but B uses his strength to push away any sort of pressure from Maeda. Celtic picking the ball up though on the halfway line. Yet again their turn to try and have a go to get further up the field, to get themselves back into this game. Short passes between the Celtic midfield just inside the centre circle. Liam Scales holding the fort right in the centre. That linchpin for Celtic whenever they push forward. As Hatate picks the ball up, finding that short pass of Scales just off the centre circle, still inside the Braga half. Braga players not moving forward, just keeping their shape, allowing Celtic the time to pass between themselves and the space, but not showing any space further up the field. It's Hatate now with the ball, plays the ball short up the line. Engels looking to do the cheeky flick, but not quite being read well. But that's picked up from Tierney, played out wide to Tanukti. As Tanukti again with confidence and his tail up looks to drive further into the Braga half, but easily won that time as Braga do pick themselves up on the ball. As Rodrigo Salazar looks to keep the ball in his possession on that near side, getting his first touches of the game as the rain falls that little bit heavier here in Glasgow this evening. This throw-in to be taken around 10 yards inside of the Celtic half, and we are going to see James Forrest making his way on for Celtic this evening for Dyson Maeda. So James Forrest, the man that has plied his trade entirely at Celtic his entire career. And they will be looking for James Forrest to try and get themselves level this evening, looking to build on that wonderful performance that he's had over the years for Celtic in those big European nights here at Celtic Park. But Hatate picks up the ball halfway into the Braga half, short pass out wide to McGregor, looking to get further ahead, but Lagerbielke standing well, and he's been superb at the back for Braga this evening, certainly shown the Celtic fans and staff what they're missing. And Kieran Tierney was moving just a little bit gingerly there for Celtic. Seems to be holding his right leg now. He is no stranger, obviously, to the treatment table. But he will be looking to complete the full 90 on his 400th senior appearance this evening. Liam Scales picks up the ball just inside the centre circle. Short pass to McGregor, finding Hatate nearby inside the Braga half. Short pass further out wide towards Tierney. Tanukti now looking to drive in from this near side touchline again towards the penalty area, going back towards Tierney. Hatate just outside the edge of the area, good loop ball in, strong header though from Ray and B from the pressure from Iheanacho. Forrest with his first touches on the ball on that far side, making his way towards the byline. Good ball played into the centre. Ray and B heading away. McGregor picks the loose ball up 5 yards outside the penalty area on that far side. Ball up on the byline. Forrest looking to get in, and that is going to be another corner. Yet another. João Moutinho now donning the captain's armband for Braga this evening, just clearing that ball away. It's going to be Arne Engels to take this corner. Not a single corner in this half for Braga. This is the 6th corner of the half for Celtic, 7 in total this evening. As Engels will take this out-swinging corner, driven in, strong header from Carter Vickers, but can't quite keep it down as it goes a good couple of yards over the top of the crossbar. That was a good ball in. Carter Vickers running in well. No one really marshalling in Braga purple. Carter Vickers just getting the wrong side of the header as it went well wide of the target in truth. As we have just over 10 minutes to go here at Celtic Park this evening, the score Celtic 0, Braga 1. That goal coming on the 20th minute from the captain, Ricardo Horta. Driven effort from 33 yards, we've been told. As Hornacek has the ball inside his own half under good pressure from Engels, driving in. Nearly forcing an error on the young Czech goalkeeper. But Braga do have the ball in their possession. Moutinho and Salazar just passing it, keeping it between the two of them at the moment on this near side touchline. And that goes out for a Braga throwing 4 or 5 yards inside of the Braga half. And we're going to see what looks like the final change of the evening, and it is going to be the last moments for Kieran Tierney on what is his 400th appearance of his career. It's going to be number 47, Dane Murray, making his way on for Celtic. This giant of a man, 22-year-old Celtic youth player. This is fourth appearance of the season as Braga look to build in towards the edge of the penalty area on the Celtic half. Celtic do well to pick the ball up, but Schmeichel again with a wayward pass clearing the ball away. It looks like we could potentially see a foul here. Vitor Gomez felt he was tackled late. He was tackled late. The leg of Marcelo Sarachi just left lingering on the foot of Vitor Gomez. And that is a yellow card for the Uruguayan, the first yellow card of the evening for Celtic. Schmeichel with another poor clearance, reverting to type from the first half, as Braga throw the ball in quickly on that far side deep into the Celtic half. Back towards Gorby. Gorby turning away from Hatate under good pressure, having to go back towards the halfway line. And Braga winning a free kick. Iheanacho putting far too much there on Vitor Carvalho. As Braga win themselves a free kick a couple of yards from the central point of the halfway line, and we're going to see yet another change. It will be the final change of the evening, and it is going to be Amin El-Wazani making his way off the field. So this will be the fifth change of the evening for Braga. There's El-Wazani, the Moroccan. He's been full of running this evening. He's just moving a little gingerly, has made his way towards the touchline. And now Celtic do regain possession, but giving the ball away as Hornacek picks the ball up, switching up wide for Salazar to try and pick up the ball, but a good tackle from Carter Vickers, and that's going to be a throw-in for Braga to be taken level with the penalty area on this near side of the field. It is going to be Vitor Gomez to take this throw-in, thrown up the line towards Gorby, right on the byline. Hatate looking to get there ahead of the oncoming pressure. Braga pick up the ball now inside of the Celtic half, moving halfway further in. Gabri Martinez, the man making his way on for Amin El-Wazani. And that's a good ball played up the line, looking to release Braga, but a strong tackle from Scales. He had to get there first under the pressure from the surrounding players in Braga purple. And Schmeichel now just taking his time, short passes between himself and Scales. Celtic look to keep the ball in their possession, but the minutes are ticking away here, and that's a poor wayward pass picked up by the new man Martinez, who picks the ball up away from Scales, looking to put the tackle in. Strong tackle from Carter Vickers, dispossessing Salazar, deemed a fair tackle, as Celtic do pick up the ball on that far side. Threaded ball long, but far too wayward as Ray and Bai gets there ahead of Iheanacho. Zlaga picks up the ball for Braga halfway inside their own half. Good ball played up the line on this near side touchline. Vitor Gomez now driving in towards the edge of the penalty area, switching out wide. Good touchdown, now making their way further in. Wonderful strike from Rodriguez, palmed away and not quite there. Still not quite cleared, and there's the deflection. Martinez, who has been on for mere moments of the game, an impact substitution, if you can call him that. He certainly is that. Not quite dealt with at all by Celtic. The first initial effort from Rodriguez, driven in towards Schmeichel, who parried the ball back into the danger right in the in that 6-yard penalty area, and Martinez was there to pick up the pieces as those Braga players drive in towards that corner of the field here at Celtic Park, where the Braga travelling support are going wild, jubilant, swinging shirts, scarves in the air, and the score is now Celtic 0, Braga 2, and it looks very likely now that Braga will be picking up maximum points from the first two games in the Europa League phase this evening. Well, Schmeichel just parrying the ball right back into the danger. Martinez was lingering as well. Wonder from Rodriguez to drive in. It was a good initial save, but he parried the ball right down the middle of where Rodriguez was. His first initial effort stood up well by Scales, but then was left with an open goal to choose where exactly to place it, and he was under good pressure though. as Dane Murray tried to clear the ball away to get there first, and actually it was Dane Murray who struck the ball against the oncoming swinging foot of Martinez. But the score is now Celtic 0, Braga 2. That goal coming on the 85th minute for the man who it must only have been his second or third touch of the game as well. And Brendan Rodgers trying his best to keep composure and drill his team on. They've played well in this second half, Celtic. As the board look on glumly as the fans here at Celtic Park slowly stream their way towards the exits. The rain falling further and further here in Glasgow. The weather almost a sign of the times for many of those in Celtic, green and white. And their fans, remember, they did postpone their protest against the board this evening. It's split opinion, that protest as well. There are many fans that think that it is deserving to be heard, but there are also many fans that feel that they have their success still in their pocket. So the protest against the board isn't quite warranted. So plenty to be considered for Celtic as they look to get their way further in, but Braga win the ball well on this near side touchline. Rodriguez, the goal scorer, plays the ball short. Wonderful flick ball back heel from Gomez, releasing Martinez up this near side touchline. Short pass back up to Vita Gomez, just off the edge of the penalty area. Braga surrounded by players in green and white hooped shirts on this near side, happy to keep the ball between themselves, allow the Celtic press and find the space for Braga purple players to pick the ball up, switching to the further side inside their own half. Array and B, short pass up towards Rodriguez, finding Lalo out wide and further back towards Array and B. And B looking to play the ball long, but far too heavy on that, and Schmeichel will comfortably gather that one up. There will be a few minutes of time added on at the end of this game. That VAR checked relatively lengthy for the Kelly Iheanacho goal that was disallowed. The Celtic now drive up that far side, looking to make their way towards the area, with Forrest driving towards the byline, cutting ball back into the box, but not good enough as Braga players clear that ball away. And I'm sure that Brendan Rodgers and the Celtic players and fans will have something to say about that disallowed goal. In my honest opinion, I don't think it touched the arm of Iheanacho. I felt it touched the very, very top of his shoulder, which according to the laws is not a part of the shirt considered to be where a handball comes into play. It's always believed to be around the end of the sleeve. The Celtic now with the ball just outside the penalty area. Scales looking to put the ball in, but no one there waiting to pick it up as further green seats emerge from behind the goals and the stands surrounding as Celtic fans make their way towards the exit. Those Braga fans are going to be painting Glasgow a happy red and white painting picture this evening, that's for sure. And they will be playing against Rangers as well later on in the qualifying campaign in the league stage of the Europa League. So as things stand, it's one of the two Glasgow teams put to the sword for Braga. This will surely give them and Carlos Wiesen some confidence. And a late foul there from Scales, a bit of frustration creeping in as he picks up a yellow card, and the foul, free kick given away, a free kick to be taken 5 or so yards into the Celtic half on this nearer side. Yeah, Scales just going through the back very late there on Martinez, the goal scorer of the second goal. But the next fixture for Braga will be away to Sporting Lisbon, who's sitting second, so not a very easy game to follow up on this one. But this will surely give them some confidence going into that game. For Celtic, their next game is here at Celtic Park against Motherwell, sitting in fourth. Plenty to consider for Brendan Rodgers before their next game against Sturm Graz later on this month in the Europa League. With Braga hosting Red Star Belgrade on the 23rd themselves. As we're just seconds away from the 90 being completed, as we await to see how much time is added on by the fourth official, Timo Gerac. That ball played up the line for Celtic to try and chase. Braga clearing up well. Received, good ball again up this line, but Scales looking to get there first, using his strength well, looking to pick it up. It's going to be a throw-in for Celtic right on the halfway line on this near side. There are going to be 6 minutes of time added on. It does make sense given the length of time towards the consideration of the disallowed goal for Kelechi Iheanacho. And surely this would be a very different game altogether if that goal had stood. Celtic look to try and get something, anything into this game. Tanuki with the throw-in on this near side, throwing back towards Scales. Scales, short pass back towards Carter Vickers, right on that halfway line. Braga players happy to sit back and try and see this 2-0 out. As Braga do pick the ball up again, are A and B, back towards Hornacek, who plays the ball long from the oncoming press of Iheanacho. But not quite as much venom in the press this time, and that's a good ball played up the line, looking to release Salazar as he drives in towards the penalty area to see this one away. But good pressure from Carter Vickers, but the assistant's flag is raised. Did look to be a yard or so offside, as that goal kick is taken quickly as we finish the first minute of the added 6. Score Celtic 0, Braga 2 here at Celtic Park. Scales playing the ball short inside to the captain McGregor, right inside the centre circle. Shepherded well by the Braga players surrounding in purple. And Celtic having to go back to start all over again. Dane Murray on the ball getting his first few touches, and one of his first touches in fact was to almost tee up Martinez for that second goal just inside the 6-yard area, as Tanuki looks to drive up that far side but does take the ball out of play, and that is going to be a throw-in for Braga halfway inside their own half on this near side. And the Celtic fans are cutting tired and worn figures, hands on faces, scarves wrapped tightly around them, slightly despondent looks in their eyes, complete polar opposite to the Braga fans, who are in utter jubilation in that corner. Maybe those Celtic fans that felt that the protest should have gone ahead, felt that there could have been more impact put forward for it. Celtic, who have never won this tournament, did get to the final one year. They were runners-up in the 2002-03 season, losing 3-2 to Porto, actually, in Seville. Braga themselves also fell to a defeat in the final, falling also to Porto, but that one in the 2010-11 season, a 1-0 defeat in Dublin. So both of these teams have tasted defeat of the final of this competition. However, if Glasgow are going to be lifting European silverware again for the first time since 1966-67, the Lisbon Lions, they are going to have to find many, many gears more than what they have shown this evening. So Tate tries to find that short pass up the line towards Sarachi. Braga pick up the ball far too comfortably, though, inside of their own half on this near side. Good pressure from Iheanacho, winning a throw-in for Celtic right on the halfway line on this near side. Throw-in taken quickly by Hatate. Braga's shape has been excellent, and it is going to be a real talking point for Celtic this evening, that Iheanacho disallowed goal. We've just seen another clip of it, and I cannot see where the handball has come into play there. It's going to be very interesting to hear Brendan Rodgers' thoughts on that, but there's a chance potentially for Celtic to build further in to try and get something late on in this game, but easily dispossess Sarachi there as Salazar picks up the ball. Loop ball up further up this near side for Gorby to pick up, but McGregor picks up the ball well for Celtic. Short pass out wide on this near side touchline to Taneki, who's been a real bright spark for Celtic this evening despite the scoreline, but stood well from Vita Gomez as he reclaims possession for Braga. Wonderful loop ball up with Gomez doing well to keep the ball in play. Excellent work rate from Gomez since coming on as well. He's been a bright spark for Braga since making his way on. Just under 2 minutes to go of the added 6 here. Braga switching the ball out wide to the far side, and they look now to be passing those short passes to kill this game off, as we are just minutes away from the final whistle from Tobias Stieler. Not too much incident for the man from Germany to contend with, aside from that one very questionable VAR decision that fell to Christian Dingart and Paul van Berkel. I would love to know exactly where they thought the handball fraction had happened. Sure, because it has to be set on the sleeve. That's what the law does state. Not the top of the shoulder, which it looked like to touch for Iheanacho. So it will be interesting to hear what UEFA release if there is a statement that does get released. But Celtic now with the ball on that far side, looking to build towards the edge of the penalty area. Hatate, ball up towards Murray, good ball into the centre. Still not quite cleared though, but Braga do clear their lines eventually as Hornacek parries the ball into a dangerous position. Well cleared though from the goal scorer Martinez. We've got less than a minute to go with the added 6 now as Celtic look to try and get some form of a consolation. This would be Braga's first clean sheet away from home in the Europa League in 7 fixtures. As Forest gives away a foul right inside of the Braga penalty area. As even more green and white seats emerge within Celtic Park, as we're just seconds away from the full-time whistle here this evening.